Ministers are considering changing the law to protect free speech after the appeal court ruled in favor of the Duchess of Sussex in a privacy dispute against the Mail on Sunday. Downing Street said publicly yesterday that ministers would study closely a ruling which upheld the High Court's decision that Meghan had a reasonable expectation of privacy over a letter written to her estranged father Thomas Markle. But senior figures in government went further and told the Daily Mail that a change in the law may now be needed to redress the balance between the competing rights of privacy and free speech. Legal experts have said the case could have a chilling effect on free speech. A cabinet minister told the Mail judges in the case appeared to have gone far beyond what Parliament intended when including a right to a private life in the Human Rights Act, and given too little weight to the right to freedom of expression, which is also incorporated in law. The judges have created a privacy law which Parliament never voted for, the source said. MPs never agreed to privacy law because they knew it would be used by the rich and famous to cover up their misdeeds. The balance between privacy and free speech is clearly wrong. If this is what the law says, then it needs to change. It feels like we have had judge-invented law. It draws on laws passed by Parliament, but it is not what Parliament ever intended, and we should correct that. Downing Street also hinted at action. Asked whether the PM believed judges were getting the balance right between privacy and free speech, a Number 10 spokesman told reporters, "We will study the implications of the judgment carefully. You have heard the Prime Minister say before that a free press is one of the cornerstones of any democracy, and this government recognizes the vital role that newspapers and the media play in holding people to account and shining a light on the issues which matter." The spokesman said he could not get into the hypotheticals about what action the government might take. But a Whitehall source said ministers might consider changing the law to protect free speech in light of the judgment. The feeling of a lot of people in government is that something has gone too far, the source said. Individual judges are making massive pieces of case law without reference to Parliament, and that is worrying. There is a concern about where this leaves free speech and the freedom of the press. No one wants a situation like the one in the US where justice is entirely based on the size of your wallet rather than the merits of your case. One source said reforms could be introduced as part of Justice Secretary Dominic Raab's review of the Human Rights Act, which is due to report in the coming weeks. Another said measures could be brought in as part of the Online Harms Bill, which is due to be introduced to Parliament next week. Damien Green, Tory MP and member of the Commons Culture Committee, said, "If we want privacy laws, they need to go through Parliament and not be decided on a case-by-case basis in the courts." The interventions came after judges threw out an appeal by the Mail on Sunday, the Daily Mail's sister paper. They ruled that an unfortunate lapse of memory that led to the Duchess apologizing to the court did not affect the case. The Mail on Sunday had sought to take the case to trial after the High Court issued a summary judgment in Meghan's favor. But the appeal court upheld the ruling, meaning there has been no opportunity to test the evidence in court or cross-examine witnesses. The newspaper has defended its right to publish extracts of the correspondence. Any change in the law would not affect the progress or outcome of the case. But it could prevent it being used by the wealthy and powerful to block press scrutiny of their activities. Meghan Markle is a campaigner and will have seen her court appeal success as a victory against what she felt were substantial odds, a royal expert has claimed. Richard Fitzwilliams made the remarks following Meghan's battle with Associated Newspapers after they published parts of her personal letter to her estranged father Thomas Markle in the Mail on Sunday. Richard told, "This verdict by the Court of Appeal means that regardless of what appeared in People magazine, the earlier High Court verdict that the contents of the letter were personal and private and not matters of legitimate public interest and therefore should not go to trial, was upheld." Meghan's apology over forgetting her involvement with the biography of the Sussexes, Finding Freedom, was embarrassing, but it was found that this did not bear on the issues. The commentator said the Duchess sees herself as a victim, which means she will feel she has been vindicated in a high-risk gamble. He added, "Had the case gone to trial, it would have been a cause célèbre if she had appeared against her father in the witness box." Fitzwilliams added, "One thing is certain, as she makes clear in her celebratory speech, she will continue to campaign for those she sees as wronged,